Let's talk local government administration today on Homo Politicus. Yes, the street renaming controversy in Bariga local council development area is the focus. Now, you do know that the street names we grew up with, the bus stops we know like the back of our hands, they're more than just directions. They're maps of memory, they're maps of identity. But what happens when the familiar is suddenly erased or replaced? Well, in recent days, the Bariga Local Council Development Area have steered heated debates with the renaming of several streets and bus stops, some political figures, others, reportedly with little or no consultation of the communities affected. The backlash is loud, the praise, louder from supporters, and the rest of Lagos watching, questioning, and talking about this. Is this indeed honoring heroes or rewriting narratives? Well, Homo Politicus, today we discuss the meaning of this renaming and the motives behind this controversial exercise. I'm joined today virtually by Dr. Lagosians. Rio is a political commentator. He joins me, as mentioned, virtually. Many thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, many thanks for joining the conversation. Let's get first your point of view, how you received this news of the recent renaming of bus stops and streets in Bariga Local Council Development Area. Just before you respond, a quick background. So the former immediate past, who just left few days ago following the inauguration of the new local council chairman and the local government chairman too, of course, local government chairman and local council development area chairman, they were sworn in just few days ago. Now, following his, if you like, exit from office, he had Saka. But what do you make of this? There's a Charlie Boy bus stop which has been renamed to Bado bus stop, which has really generated controversy. How did you receive this news, Dr. Lagosians?
Thank you very much. To start with, the most controversial of all the namings has to do with the changing of Charlie Boy bus stop to Olamide Badu bus stop, and of course the changing of the name Ajidagon Street. Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly. Please continue.
Okay. So of changing the street also to Badu's name. Now, I used to live on Folaji Nodu Street. That's about 10 minutes trek to that bus stop. So I'm very familiar with all the stories around that place. To start with, originally, that place was Second Pedro bus stop. Second Pedro bus stop. Charlie Boy came there to rent the property at the transformer at the junction. And then there's a balcony attached to that house where he positioned a large bike and with a signboard calling that place Charlie Boy bus stop. Now, nobody paid any attention to it, and there was no record of him going to the local council to regularize the naming after himself. The standard normal practice is if you want to register a street in your name, you will go to the council and get a form, pay a certain sum, they will conduct inspection, and of course also profile you, whether you are deserving of some kind of honor, because it's an honor or not. But in this case, because his music was raining and his alliance with the Okada rider, I was just imagine as part of our urban transportation system in Lagos, it was overlooked. Unfortunately, the story of the state in that place represented everything that will not reflect development of societal concerns. Because several times there were clashes between the residents in that neighborhood and Okada riders. And very painfully, this is not a hidden secret. Charlie Boy owed rent on that property for 7 years. Okay. The woman, who was a widow, had to go to court before she could retrieve her property. And then Charlie Boy fled. You see, all of this were in the public media. A lot of people left that neighborhood for him because there were a lot of untoward events happening around where he was. And if you remember, sometimes he appear almost near naked in front of that house. And in all of those things, they were not ended with expected community standards, especially in the Yoruba land and an unfound place like Lagos. And nobody thought, in his wisdom, the current chairman of the LCDA decided to regain some seats. For instance, Sonia has been living at Ilaje.
Yes.
He's been there for more than 14 years. His house was the biggest at the time it was built. And of course, we knew him to have a large family. So all his children were born and grown in that place. Now, nobody saw anything wrong in that street and the bus stop being named after Sonia Day, not minding that he is not a Lagosian. Listed makers, I will call them that, now led meaning into Charlie Boy bus stop being renamed along with Ajidago. Ajidago is a Yoruba name, and the family, they live on that street. They could have protested, or for whatever reason, they didn't protest. So, as far as I'm concerned, whether it's a popular figure or a popular musician or not, those of us who knew what the community went through during his stay in that place, we wholeheartedly support the renaming of that bus stop.
All right.
And that is my position.
All right.
Well,
that said, with the, like you said, as you said, the wisdom of the local council development area chairman, Honorable David, who has now left, he decided to name one street after Olamide and then a bus stop as well. Let's talk very quickly about the exact words used in the renaming, Bado bus stop. We know the term Bado, I'm not sure who wants to bear such a name, except, of course, music stars, and that stuck with him for a while. We know, too, that in the Ikorodu part of Lagos for some time, there were those there's a group called this, who terrorized residents along within Ikorodu. I'm saying to you that is that a term that a local council administration should use to rename the bus stop? If you say, you align with this renaming, especially that of Charlie Boy bus stop, if you're going to rename, should you be using Bado, as a term, something that would stay with many persons, if that works with Lagosians, because I suppose many persons will still stick with Charlie Boy.
Right. I remember an experience. People who are property owners or who are living or living in a particular street, they do go to request that it be named after them. In other cases, streets are named after people where they have been found or contributed their quota to humanity, education, or whatever support that the matter offered the general public to take that area. So that's why you see the street in here named after an man Ojuba Patiwe. And of course, there's another street named after the northern as well. But the truth is, in this case, Charlie Boy bus stop was an institution because people didn't pay attention to it. And then the circumstances that came up during the 2023 election had not come up by then. So perhaps it didn't mean anything. But with the anti-tribal sentiment that was thrown off during the election, nobody should have been surprised. On the issue of Badu being the identity of the killer gang in the Korodu, yes, that's true. But Olamide has added that identity as Badu, or we call him Badu Snare, or Lamidi Snare, we used to call him. I don't think that it will be any reason for anybody to connect the Ikorodu evil gang, the Olamide Badu, the Indian and the producer. Having said that, if there's a public outcry against the naming, instead of calling it Badu Boston, it has not been called Olamide Boston. I don't think anybody will quarrel with that. But over and above all is the fact that you can decree a name into being, or it cannot be enforced. Medical Road in Ikeja was named after Alaja Sidiat Abiola. Till date, people still call it Medical Road. Okay?
Yeah.
Very simple to, if my memory is right, remember it's Sidiat Abiola. There are several other people like that. But my concern now is the ethnicity or the tribal thing being brought up over the Caliboy thing.
Dr. Ladende, is that not justified? If you move the weight a little bit from the Bariga local council and go to the Jeremy Ifelodun local council, still in Lagos, where several streets initially bearing names of persons of Igbo extraction renamed, to that of Yoruba, names bearing Yoruba, if you like, Yoruba names essentially. Isn't that justified for people to begin to think, okay, you have series of names of streets rather named after or with Igbo names, now completely erased, replaced with Yoruba names? It sounds like, okay, we want to completely erase those and have the Yoruba identity stamped on these communities. So again, back to my question, is this not justified? Will people not be justified to say there is something here, there's something ethnic happening here?
Well, in life, we all are entitled to our story. And let's get that straight. For me, if what I knew about Danny Boy, his activities while he stayed in that place, and the experiences of neighbor that was not very unpleasant and unacceptable for anything to go by, and considering the fact that he did not regularize the naming of that place after himself, nothing stops the council from removing his name and renaming that place. Don't forget also that in certain cases, some streets have been renamed to honor people, especially streets that were carrying foreign names. They were given to native. Kingsway Road in the city was changed to Alfred Nwane. Okay? But the truth is, like I said, changing the name is one thing. But for the people to now begin to use the name is another thing. So if you leave ethnicity or tribalism into it, well, for me, it's better here than there. Because all the people that were mentioned, that were including Aborore 9, is also a Bariga boy. And you cannot take it away that in his own class, not to deserve the honor.
Well,
yes, I mean.
Let's talk, Doctor, very quickly, because we're pressed for time now. Very quickly about the considerations for this naming, for choosing who to be named. Well, we've seen two serving politicians, the president, one street named, after him. We've seen the governor too. I'm talking in Bariga now. We've seen streets too named after the incumbent governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and then the rest, two musicians, in fact, three musicians, King Sunny Ade, Olamide, as well as Nice, and then Bukayo Saka. Now, there's several persons still within the Bariga community who have done several things. We're talking school teachers, school principals, persons who have served, in different capacities, who have done well, yet don't get this recognition. What more should we do in recognizing these persons? Do they have to be politicians? Do they have to be music stars or football stars? Social media influencers and celebrities to be named or to be recognized and honored in this manner?
Whether we like it or not, social media has come to represent a part in public communication and political communication, to the extent that they influence a lot of things. Unfortunately, not everyone on social media platforms are sufficiently educated and informed enough to make rational decisions and make rational contributions, when matters are important. Maybe I should say today that whatever was the motive behind the remaining street or bottom, that is on one side. The question is, can it be enforced? Whereby, yes, people can't do it. I'm giving you another example of the people that were remain, but people still call them the old name.
Yeah.
So what do you go from there? That's not saying as an intention to unify any ethnic group. However, if you insist that we will look in that direction, there has been a kind of agitation, not only in Lagos, but in the Southwest, to plenary election, when some countries got into politics and then they declared Lagos as no man's land. A lot of Lagosians authorities who claim territorial ownership of Lagos, they found it offensive. And if this is done to show that, okay, Lagos has owners, well, I cannot question that. The man who did the change was validly elected and is constantly empowered to name streets.
Yeah, I mean, you spoken about. You've spoken about the tribal side.
Let's look at it from that way.
Yeah, you've spoken about the tribal sentiment. Doctor.
Tell you for free.
Yes.
That in a place like Alaba, if you're a Yoruba man, you may not hold any authority position in the association managing Alaba market. Not only that, if you are not of Anambra State, you will not be considered a force in the level group, but they are the ones dominating the market. Now, if tomorrow the LCDA or no government in charge of Alaba decide to think and retain upon this same kind of club, the same thing as Ladipo, where the subject lieutenants dominate. And in Abeokuta, there is a place where they sell computer, phone, accessories, and all that. They are having exactly the same problem, whereby the native, the indigenous, have been deprived not only tours of places, they have been denied positions in the executive of the market.
Yeah. So
when you remember that lately in Ghana, an Igbo man who pretended that he wanted to build an Igbo community created problem for all the Nigerians living in Ghana. Because he said, look, you came here to do business. We allowed you to thrive and make money. How do you now want to build a community within our community? That is not permissible and it's not going to happen. There was a massive protest in Ghana yesterday. It's all online. So look at all of these things together. It depends on who you are and where you are.
All right.
Okay, you can either say where it's justified or it's not.
Again, yes.
Nobody will allow you who are not living to overrun their interest in their territory.
Again, you've spoken, Dr. Rio. Yes.
We establish that some people own Lagos. It's a political thing, and I can't query it.
All right.
Thank you.
Dr. Rio, yes, you've spoken a lot about the tribal, leanings to this. But my last question was about, well, if you like, Yorubas, indigenous or not indigenous Lagos, individuals. Yorubas living in Lagos who have done well, who have served as, for example, school principals at the local level, teachers who have done well, people who have raised several persons who have, become great men. For example, the teachers to Lamide to Nice, who schooled in Bariga, don't they deserve, to get this recognition? That's my point. Don't they deserve to do this? Shouldn't we be, or what do you say to local government administrations around Lagos, across Lagos, about recognizing those who are not celebrated, via social media, who don't have the voice on social media?
Are you done?
Yes, that's my question.
Okay, because I'm having problems getting to hear you clearly. If what I'm able to pick from your question is anything to go by, I will tell you that this manifestation, if it was for ethnic or tribal reasons, is a reflection of the fact that Nigeria has been far more divided
Dr. Rio, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not talking about.
Hear you.
Fantastic. So this is not about ethnicity, about the tribal leanings in this conversation. I'm saying market women, for example, people who have served as Yalojas, for example, teachers, school principals, who have served in Bariga community, who have served in different, localities, communities across the state. Don't they deserve recognition? Must those who would get their names, to be recognized in this manner, must they be, for example, politicians, musicians, football stars, and the rest?
You know that while you were in a limbo, and I live in the OP community, I was a community leader, and if I had wanted to, I could have pushed my name forward, to have a street named after me. The Yaloja of the Jagmolu market in Bariga is very well known to me. She inherited the title from her late mother.
Okay.
All of these things are purely indigenous affairs. Just like Sade Tinubu inherited the Yaloja title from her grandmother. Now, I don't see what is wrong with naming monuments or streets or whatever after people in that order, whether they are stars, musicians, actors or actresses, or people we generally call celebrities.
And ignore locals who
if anybody
in their little
finds
way
something offensive in that, I think they should be free to go to court.
Okay.
Because that's my opinion.
All right.
You have a right to protest or to contest when you feel the government of the day, either at federal, state, or local, has been unfair to you. As against wiping off sentiments and trying to create anarchy. Because if any trouble should emerge out of this, nobody knows who will suffer most. And if there will be killings and deaths, nobody knows who will survive. That's why I'm saying that we should ignore all of these small matters.
All right.
And face the bigger business of eking livings in the face of economic policies that are not seemingly favorable to the average common man or the man on the street.
All right, Dr. Doria, we've got to
We
go.
have far more serious issue to contend with than to now begin to carry cudgels and weapons and be fighting over the naming of streets or bus stops that are not enforceable.
Hopefully we don't see such.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully we don't see such a thing. People can voice, their grievances, but no one, should get violent about it. Like you said, like you said, maybe go to courts to get this sorted. But how exactly, this moves, these sudden changes, what exactly that would do to local history, to business documentation, to residents' connection to their spaces, that's another conversation for another time. And going forward, should there be a statewide policy for public engagement before place names are changed, or should local governments just, do this naming independently? That's another conversation. The consultation of communities too in this name changes, another important one. I'd like to thank you so much, political commentator Dr. Oladeyinde Ariyo, for joining me today. Many thanks. All right, I suppose he is saying goodbye to, and many thanks. Thank you so much for that. Well, that's Homo Politicus today. Join the conversation in the comment section. Let me know what you think, especially if you grew up within the Bariga community. If you did not, what you make generally of this renaming, and let's talk in the comment section some more. Until next time, no more Politicus. Make sure you're safe, avoid violence, all right? And continue to do what you can, contributing your quota to the development of your community and indeed the nation at large. Kingsley Bassey is my name, and I say may God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye for now.